If you're anything like me, you remember the days when average Joes could only get their hands on scan tools like this, only to be locked out of those pesky ABS or airbag lights you were after in the first place. Yeah, these things really sucked at live data, and bidirectional controls, forget about it. Hi, I'm Garnett, and channel sponsor Topdon sent me over this thing to let you guys know that those days are over. Let's start with what it is. It's the TopScan from Topdon, and it takes the place of what this old thing used to do, but instead it takes any smartphone, Apple or Android, and turns it into a, most importantly, bi-directional scan tool. This old thing is from Harbor Freight, and I don't even know if they still offer or sell the Syntec. Number one, $60 up there. 60 bucks. 60 bucks. Does two resets, engine oil and battery. No, none of the other available resets this thing does. Comparable Harbor Freight product, I guess, for 60 bucks. There's also this one for also $59.99. Let's see what resets it does. It actually does no resets. Bi-directional, nothing. Only the 15 does bi-directional, which is that one for $3.19. Does this one do bi-directional? No. Like I said, only the 15. This thing right here, ZRBT1, no bi-directional, but does do engine oil resets and battery resets. Walking around the device, it actually has a handful of features that makes it feel a little bit premium. For starters, it's got top and bottom metal panels. They feel like they are powder-coated aluminum. Then on top of that, you've got three indicators, one being your power, letting you know that the device is connected to power, two being a blue Bluetooth indicator, letting you know the device is connected to your phone, and third being a green communications indicator is what I'd call it, letting you know the device is actually sending data once it's connected. And finally, it's got a metal tab in the data link port that's going to maintain pressure on the physical jack so it doesn't just fall out of there, which is a nice added feature actually. Oh, and I forgot to mention that port is a USB-C. So in the event that this thing needs updated, you can power right to it and update it in that manner. From there, installation is going to be pretty straightforward for this thing to get installed on your device. Just keep in mind that on iOS, it's going to be an app called Top Guru. And on Android, it's going to be an app called TopScan, which actually matches what it says on the device. Just keep that in mind, that the apps between platforms is a little bit different. It's a little weird. TopScan on Android, Top Guru on iOS. Now, when I first got this thing in from Topdon, I, like you, was a little bit skeptical. I thought it was, just a glorified ELM 327 or one of those Bluetooth code reader thingies, just a glorified professional-ish version of that you could pull some codes and you could do a couple extra things. But no, this thing, I was able to do a lot of the things I can do with my big scanner with this thing. I can see live data, I can graph it, I can control output relays on at least this thing. But if you don't believe me, let me show you. Now, the first time you launch this
TopScan, you're probably going to have to download your manufacturer. I already have Chevy downloaded, so we're going to go into that. Ignition is already on, we're already running. That is my VIN. I'm probably going to blur that out, but you got to hit confirm. No on a manual transfer case, manual HVAC under and with. And that's my vehicle. So control unit is pretty much all the ECMs on the vehicle. You can do a hot auto scan, you can do hot functions, or vehicle information, obviously. But this is how you click into each control module and select each one to scan each one. But I don't want to do that. I actually want to go auto scan. And you can still do the same thing here and click each module. For example, if I go into the transfer case module and I can read trouble codes, and it'll just read that module. But as you can see, this accesses a lot more than the normal scan tool, normal cheap scan tool would access. And it's relatively fast. So if we go into, no, we don't want to, we want to go back into engine. Yeah, engine control module, live data. And what I want to do is look at cruise control, because that's another issue I'm having with this truck, is cruise control will not set. Now, if you can see, in real time, I'm going to press this button, and it's one of these cruise control on off switch. Boom, instantly that went on. Now it's off. I think any of these buttons though don't work unless that button's on. So we'll turn that button on, and we will cruise control coast set switch. I'm gonna hold it and blam, it says active. Up one, I think it's resume acceleration, active, blam, and cancel. Boom, just validated all of my cruise control buttons. Now, if you see down here, interestingly enough, it says brake pedal position circuit signal is applied, and I'm not pressing the brake. So we're gonna hit the brake. Now the second one goes applied, but this one's still applied, and that's probably why. There it goes. That's me pulling up on the pedal itself. So something's wrong with either the adjustment of the pedal or the switch itself. But yeah, as you can see, it's going. I'm pulling up on it right now, and this is just live as it can get. This is awesome data to have, especially out of a little dongle device like the TopScan. Now we have to go back in here, and because you can, as well as the data, the awesome data that this brings up in list form, you can also graph it. You can change any parameter to be graphing, and it's I want to show you how that works before we're done with this video, because if they had a bigger screen version of this, I would just, and on top of that, you got the hot function. So we'll drop into the hot functions. You got these ones. It just knows that this is what I can do on this vehicle. But apparently it supports up to like 10 hot functions, I do believe. But we're going to jump into control unit. We're going to do engine control module, and we're going to do live data. And we're going to do, how about let's do cylinder deactivation data, right? So those are all my cylinder deactivations. Like I said, this is a active fuel management truck, so don't know what's going on with my voice there. But if we click into RPM, we can change this to graphing, right? Boom, it graphs it right there in the feed. This is kind of how Snap-on does it, where you can just come in here. Well, I think Snap-on by default graphs a lot of them, as well as gives you a readout. Some of them are different, some scan tools, but the ones I've handled, it graphs it right in the view. But if we do that with accelerator position, boom, look at that. We can graph two things on the screen at the same time. And if I start to press on my pedal. Look at that. Graphs beautifully. You can also expand it to make a bigger graph, and you can combine. But the only thing is, you have to jump in here and look for the other thing you want to combine. So you're looking for, yeah, accelerator, and then confirm. Now they're both on this graph. You can't turn it sideways for some reason. That's not going to work. It's not going to auto rotate and have a bigger screen layout. But let me tell you, this is a lot more data, a lot more in depth than I was expecting this price point of a tool to be.
Now, you just saw that not only can this little dongle deliver fast, accurate scan data, it can also do something that Harbor Freight wants in excess of $300 to do, right in the palm of your hand. With all that said, there are a set of caveats that I do have to mention. Even though this thing is small enough to fit in your palm of your hand and in your pocket, that inevitably makes it easy to lose and easy to misplace. It's not a dedicated tool and doesn't have a cable that goes with it. So it's as easy to misplace as it is your phone. And that, for me, at times can be a challenge. Now, the other major thing is that this thing comes with a year of diagnostic software. And that means you'll need a subscription to continue getting updates. Now, that cost for them is going to be $49.99 or $95 at this time of recording this video. I don't know if that'll change, but it does mean that for the first year, you get that for free. You get a year free, but after that, you're going to have to pay that $50. Now, on the flip side of that, that is something that my launch, they want roughly $350 when it's on sale, in the neighborhood of $500 to continue getting updates on the new models. This is a 2015 GMC Acadia. Once you buy this dongle and use it on this and download the appropriate, what do you call it, definitions or the appropriate software, download it in your phone, you already have it. You have it for as long as you have, it downloaded. So what I would do is just keep it downloaded, and you have all the way up to, we'll say, 2024 in this example on GMCs. And it's like that for every software you download. Or this is just a heads up to say that there is a subscription when it comes to this. But introductory price, or the price to get in and have all the access to almost OE level scan tool in the palm of your hand, is like $50 to $80. There's nothing from Topdon themselves, nothing from Harbor Freight, as you saw, nothing from Autel or Launch that will get you into scanning these cars at the level that thing does at that price. So the trade-offs are, I'd take them at the price point that is. But hey, that's it. That's all I have for you. If you like, make sure you drop a like, get subscribed, and consider checking out my support links, which are in the description down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.